Welcome to the plays that sent Toronto to the NBA Finals for the first time ever. You may remember my last video, which I'll have pinned up at top, showing the plays that ended Houston's season. These are the plays that sent Toronto to their first finals ever. Game 6, let's take a look at some of the biggest plays from that game. Make sure you're following on Twitter at ScoutWithBryan, and let's break down in the flow of the game how things went. First of all, big talk. What you heard about all series was build a wall against Giannis. You see Toronto do a great job getting bodies back, being low in a stance, having your arms out. It's the simple things defensively. A lot of people have asked me, do Kyle Lowry videos, talk about why he's underappreciated. It's things like this to me. Even though Kawhi was the best matchup against him, everybody ended up having a turn against him, especially in transition. You see Lowry get low in a stance, take the bump, embrace the physicality. Great little pit bull. Here he backs off Giannis, leading to a Danny Green steal. Coaches also talk about winning the 50-50 balls, how important those are in the playoff games. Watch Kyle Lowry again here make not one, but two phenomenal diving efforts to slap this loose ball forward. I don't even know if that's credited as his rebound in the stat sheet, but that's a huge winning play. Tactically, let's take a look at a couple things. I'll talk about some high-level X's and O's stuff. A lot of Toronto's offense, pretty simple. They run the horn set here, end up being a second side pick and roll for Kawhi. What I want you to really pay attention to, though, big part of this play is moving the guy that's supposed to be at the nail. Right here, it's supposed to be Eric Bledsoe. So what you see Fred VanVleet do, he's going to interchange with Norman Powell so that when Kawhi comes off this pick and roll, Lopez is there, but there's nobody at the nail. Normal NBA coverage is supposed to have a guy right here ready to stop the ball if it gets middle. Since these guys exchange, the Bucks didn't do a great job of just having Bledsoe could have just stayed right here, Middleton could have stayed there, and they could have just switched it. You see, they didn't do that, which ended up giving Kawhi a lot of room to operate around the free throw line coming off right here. And then watch what happens again. Now we're matched up. Now we got Powell here, VanVleet here. What do we do when they stop the ball? Let's go exchange again. Watch what ends up happening. Middleton now is going to actually, Bledsoe loses VanVleet coming up. Middleton has his back to him. Gives VanVleet a huge three. I'll let you watch that one more time all the way through. Let's take a look again at the nuance. The exchange. Bledsoe leaves the nail. Now Middleton's there. Exchange again. Now they lose track of VanVleet for a huge three. Now, a lot of what Toronto does, the simple things. Transition defense, communicating, getting back. Again, these are the things that, yes, will show up as a team defensive score and all, but this is communication right here. Kawhi telling VanVleet to stay wide. He's got the ball. Then we have to scramble because Ilyasova comes unguarded. VanVleet has to get him. Kawhi has to rotate to Brogdon. He gets beat. VanVleet helps. Gasol helps. Now we got some scouting report defense. Look at this. What happened? Eric Bledsoe, the weakest shooter here out of Middleton and Ilyasova. We'll live with him shooting. So both these guys stunted, faked at Bledsoe, but stayed with their man. So Bledsoe has the open shot, and that's okay. Look at Fred VanVleet down here battling Ilyasova on the boards. Little guy, Toronto's ball. They won the 50-50 balls. They won the heart things. Ultimately, basketball's still a simple game. That's what it comes down to. This play, Floppy 3, you can search on Twitter. Even search my name, search Floppy 3. You'll find I've tweeted a diagram of it. It basically was a big play that Milwaukee ran a lot to get Middleton or even Giannis an ISO right about at the nail. Toronto, here's some more great coaching from Nick Nurse. He had them, first of all, trying to just deny this catch for George Hill. You see VanVleet denies the catch, kind of blows up the timing of the play a little bit. Then it ends up being this pin down right here in the middle for Giannis. Great game plan defense again. They switch that. You see Kawhi talking. Easy switch. Now Green can stay up and try to deny Giannis. Does a great job of. Phenomenal job. Knowing the game plan. Resisting him. Helping on the ball. Getting hands in there. Force a jump ball. They are a gritty, tough defensive team. Watch Kyle Lowry here. Switches onto Middleton. Into his body. Into his body. Great stance. A little bit of a flop. Everybody does that sometimes. But you know what? Don't stay on the ground. Don't sulk about it. Get right back up. Stop the ball. Let's run this back one more time just so you can see what happens. So Lowry, again, tries to flop. Van Fleet has to rotate to Ilyasova. Ibaka rotates to the corner. He would have a layup, but Lowry, Siakam do a great job being there. Siakam rotates to the corner. Kawhi's right there. Now look at this. This is what a lot of people think. Oh, they're playing zone. They're in a 2-3. No, they're not. This is just great help side defense. This is help line. When coaches talk about if your man's away from the ball, if he's weak side, you should have a foot in the paint, foot near the paint, foot in the paint. So Giannis sees a crowd, goes to drive. We got 3 guys basically on the ball. Ends up being Eric Bledsoe 3. He happens to hit it. Doesn't change to me what a great defensive possession that was. Like Weber said, you'll live with him shooting, or Reggie said, you'll live with him shooting the ball. This play I want you to remember because we're going to come back to this. This is a really important play that's going to come back later in this game. It was an after timeout play to start the second half. It's going to basically be this high handoff, Middleton coming off this kind of pinch screen to the corner. What happened? Toronto kind of messes up. They get 2 guys to go with Middleton. Giannis ends up being wide open on the slip. Remember that because that's going to come into play. But for this play, we see Lowry fronting Giannis in the post. Now what happens? Gasol does a great job coming over, walling up. Green does a great job rotating to the corner. Lowry does a great job being in the paint, mucking it up. Does a great job closing out short. Everybody's in the right help spot. Great team defense. And then people love to say mid-range is dead. Well, I strongly disagree. You can see my video on that right up top. But a big part of why, yes, I know the analytics people will say it's not a bad shot for Kawhi. It's not a bad shot for the guys who take it, or make them, excuse me. Well, it's a valuable skill set, especially in the playoffs. The Bucks play this drop defense with the big all the way far back. They're willing to concede long 2s. That's what they've conceded all season, the pull-up 2 off the dribble. But you know what? For guys that can make it like Kawhi, high-level elite players in the playoffs, if you're going to give him wide-open elbow jumpers, you're in trouble. These were big shots that, yes, people talk about it's 2, not a 3, the effective field goal percentage, points per possession, all these things. They were down 9. This made it 7. They chipped away because of big shots like this that were the open shot against the coverage. You see Brook dropping back again. Kawhi hits it again. 2 in a row against that drop coverage. Huge shots. Here we see switching everything on the pick and rolls. See Lowry guarding Giannis. Look at this box out. That's Kyle Lowry guarding Giannis. Look at him getting his butt into him. Phenomenal. Now, how do we break down Kawhi's game? Well, to me, he's the best player in the league right now. A lot of what he does, super simple, right? You see that like between the legs dribble, but you know what? That's not what it's about. It's about just having a phenomenal handle, having a super tight handle, goes between the legs, but ultimately he's just reading his man. His man stands up. Look at Bledsoe right there. Just lift up for even a quarter of a second. Relax. When he sees that, attack that foot, go by him, forces the defense to come in and help, sees the open man, finds Gasol for a huge corner 3, keep chipping away at this lead. And Milwaukee had a big lead. Let's not forget that. More credit to Nick Nurse and also credit to Kyle Lowry. This was an after timeout play. It was a really good play, but it was made even better. Coaches love to say, set a good screen, and you'll be open yourself. Set a screen and get yourself a good shot. Kyle Lowry sets a great back pick on Giannis. Giannis thinks that he has to stay with Kawhi because he doesn't want George Hill switching onto him in the post, but George Hill ends up feeling like he has to switch since Lowry set such a good screen. Then nobody goes to Lowry, ends up getting a wide open 3. Remember that play because very next play they're going to run the same thing again. Ends up being this back pick for Giannis. Uh-oh, they messed up. Gasol could have probably held the ball a second longer. Found Kawhi slipping this time. They missed it. That's all right. Let's go into a high pick and roll right here. Bucks are going to switch it. Ilyasova. And then here's where Lowry really stepped up with a huge step back 3. Look at this team defense again. Oh, this one actually was on here because I wanted this again. We're going to come back to. This ended up leading to a huge play in the fourth quarter. I'll show you why. But remember this high pick and roll. People talked about Giannis being the roll man. They wanted to see more of that. Why? Because he can get things like this. Because what ends up happening is Toronto wants to switch it, but since Van Fleet goes over the screen, Giannis Now with Van Fleet switched onto him, Giannis has a roll to the basket. If you're going to switch, you probably have to go under, because if you don't, Giannis kind of has him sealed, leading to the lob. The Giannis just happens to blow at the rim. But remember this, because again, we'll come back to it in the fourth quarter. Kawhi, analytics. Some of the big analytics people also love to say post-ups are dead. Don't agree with that either. This to me is a post-up. It's a back down. It's Kawhi. Look at him force the defense to come in and collapse because they know his skill set. They know how good he is down there. Bucks end up having 5 guys in the paint. Kawhi on the jump stop. Kicks to the corner. Norman Powell plays so well. Giannis has to run him off the 3. Ends up getting a dunk. That comes from a post-up. Comes from having that skill. Comes from getting deep positioning down there. Toronto switches this pick and roll. And then when you don't have a post-up game, here's the thing. Brook Lopez had a phenomenal season. Love that he's added a shot. Even had some huge post-ups in the fourth quarter. But plays like this, you get Van Fleet switched onto you. Why are you posting up all the way out here? What's that going to do exactly? Nothing. Ends up doing a handoff. You still have Van Fleet on you. Come on, post him up. Play like a big man. What are we doing? You can't let him get away with having Van Fleet on Lopez. And then watch this box out. Shot goes up. Van Fleet holding off Lopez on the box out. That's toughness. That's effort. That's grit. Oh, that drop coverage again. Lopez all the way back. Let's concede the mid-range jumper. All right, but the great players in the league will kill you for it. Look at this. Knowing your personnel. KYP. Kawhi guarding Giannis. Again, we're not respecting him as a three-point shooter. So when Lopez goes to drive, we're going to be right here at the nail. Stop the drive. Great defense. Close out short. No, he's not a shooter. Great defense. Build the wall. Powell. Great help positioning. Close out short. Derek Bledsoe. Kawhi's in there again. Switch the pick and roll. Great defense. This play, yes, Kawhi went a little bit early. Ref should have called this. It was a blown call, but also a huge hustle play. And maybe it was a little tougher in real time to spot. NBA free throw box outs. Some people don't know this. You can only have 3 guys in there. Defensively, normal strategy is to have 2 guys on the side of the better rebounder. He goes one-on-one right here. And then one of these guys usually has to come in, box out, Kawhi the shooter. Middleton is a little late doing that, or just doesn't do that, period. So Kawhi is able to sense his own miss, go follow it, get it back for a huge, huge pivotal play. Kyle Lowry. Yep, this shows up as a charge. Technically, though, not even a box score stat. A lot of people don't appreciate it enough. One of the best charge takers in the league pretty much every season. Look at this. This man's out here at the three-point line. Great recognition to see an opportunity to come in and take one against Malcolm Brogdon. Phenomenal. Help your teammates up. That's a team right there. That's connected. And then you see again, talk about help positioning. You'll see a lot of guys in the NBA, when a ball comes like this at them, Kyle Lowry, a lot of guys in this position are out hugging their shooter. They're not here where they're supposed to be around the elbow. Kyle Lowry is, so when Middleton comes in there with a little loose handle, Lowry gets a huge steal. And then Kawhi, yeah, that sent Giannis home. That sent Milwaukee home. Speaking of, this is the only time I'm ever going to interrupt one of my videos. Let me just do this real quick. I appreciate your support greatly, but please, if you can take a second to go to patreon.com/ScoutWithBryan, I'd really appreciate your support. You can go to ScoutWithBryan.com, click on blog. I'll explain why a little bit more there. Just ScoutWithBryan.com, again, and click on blog, or you can go right to the Patreon. I'd really appreciate your guys' support if you've seen a lot of these videos, and if you've really enjoyed them, keep me on here, keep it going. I really appreciate you, and thanks for considering. Let's finish up now with the final 5. Great job again, building that wall against Giannis. Now, this was another thing. Toronto, great piece of game planning. You saw Kawhi get to go one-on-one a lot in the post and pick and rolls. Toronto, Nick Nurse decided we're not going to let Giannis beat us. We're going to come trap him with the opposite big. Double team. Look at the awareness. Now, when they trap, you're basically zoning up now. Kyle Lowry sees the cutter, bumps him. Gets back out to the shooter. Rotate. Van Fleet's there. Siakam's there. Gasol runs him off the line. Van Fleet's there. Kawhi is there. They are so locked in, 5 guys on a string, rotating around, flying around, multiple efforts. All the little things they do so well. Kawhi being in the help spot. This play, they ended up having Giannis kind of stumbles into a little step up. They get 2 on the ball. Look at Gasol rotate over to stop him. Look at Van Fleet battling down there. Look at Kawhi rotate. Siakam, great. We call this a stick hand. Always having one hand up in the face of a shooter. Stick hand. Contest. Lockdown defense, basically a shot clock violation down the stretch. 5-point game now. See again, kind of that post-up impact. This play, who wants it more? Look at this. Shot goes up when Siakam shoots this floater. Look at Giannis. Look at Brogdon. Now watch Kawhi and Lowry. Look at Lowry come flying. Even if Kawhi didn't get this rebound, Lowry might have had it. That's wanting it more. Those are winning plays, championship plays. Now, this was the play I said I'm going to come back to. Why? A couple things, actually. It's both those things combined that I said I was coming back to. First, what do you notice? Similar to that same play. This was an after timeout play. The goal of it, again, was to get Middleton this kind of pinch screen to the corner. What happened last time? Remember, 2 guys went to the corner, and the slip man right here was wide open. Looks like maybe they were looking for that again. They thought they'd mess it up, so you see Lopez slip it, and he was looking for the ball right away. This time, though, they didn't mess it up. Siakam switches on to Lopez. It's not exactly open. George Hill doesn't throw it. Now let's look at the other part of this play. We talked about the pick and roll with Giannis setting it. And Van Fleet goes over again. So Giannis has a roll to the basket that's pretty open. What takes it away? Well, not the best pass in the world, but also look at this awareness from Pascal Siakam to be chasing the guy that's getting this pinch screen to the corner, to switch on to Lopez, and then also read George Hill's eyes that he's making this lob pass to Giannis and go and break it up and get a hand on it. 5-point game, 1 minute left, essentially ended the game with this hustle play. I'll let you watch one more time by Pascal Siakam. Unbelievable effort. And then we talked about the free throws. This is a little different again because I talked about usually teams like to pinch on right here. Milwaukee, they had him go to box out the shooter, maybe because of what happened earlier. But regardless, watch Kawhi and Giannis. Kawhi is going to keep wedging himself underneath, keep pushing back, keep getting lower and lower. Grab the ball with 2 hands. Who wants it more? 50-50 ball, I'm going to grab it. I'm going to send my team to the NBA Finals for the first time in their history. Thanks very much for watching. Please thumb up. Please subscribe. Please leave a comment. Make sure you send this to somebody. Keep spreading the word. On Twitter at ScoutWithBryan, ScoutWithBryan.com. Really appreciate you guys and all your support, and appreciate you supporting at the Patreon as well. Thanks a lot for watching. Talk to you again soon.